Shake Milton has just signed with the New York Knicks, and we have to talk about this because obviously it's a huge move for an injury-riddled Knicks. So let's jump right into it, guys. Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and the Knicks have done something. We have needed something to get done for this team with all these injuries, and Woj just released the news. Shake Milton is planning to sign with the New York Knicks upon clearing waivers. Milton agreed to a contract buyout with Detroit and will be eligible for the Knicks playoff roster. Gives immediate help to an injury-riddled roster. Now, this is huge because the Knicks have had issues in the backcourt. Outside of Jalen Brunson, there has not been a ton of shot creation. For all the things Deuce McBride is good at, he's not the greatest shot creator. And the Knicks have gone on record saying they like Deuce as a two-guard more. So Shake can come in and play backup point guard, and he is a very good offensive point guard who's not the worst defender in the world either. Now, this season has been a down year for Shake. There's no other way to put it. He has just not played very well this year, but we've seen him have really good shooting seasons and be able to be a good scorer off the bench. He was with the Philadelphia 76ers for a while, and though towards the end he did fall out of the rotation, for the most part he was a mainstay in a playoff rotation for a while. So not only has Shake Milton been in a rotation, he's been in a winning rotation for a long time now. And despite these few games with the Detroit Pistons, Shake Milton has mainly played on successful teams, such as the Minnesota Timberwolves. He signed there this season, though things obviously did not work out as expected, which has led to him getting traded in that Monte Morris deal and then eventually bought out by the Detroit Pistons. Now, on the season, Shake's averaging 5 points per game, 1 rebound, and 1 assist, while only shooting 40% from the field, and even worse, 27% from three. But he is a nearly 36% three-point shooter. That's around what he shot last season. He's still shooting 80% from the line, so clearly not all hope is lost. But yeah, obviously not his best year in the NBA for a guy who's averaging around 9 points and 2 rebounds and 2.5 assists for his career. But the Knicks need bench depth, and Shake Milton is as good of a guy as you are going to get for bench depth. Now, look, also, I do have to address, I understand that most people do want a forward. They want someone bigger. I don't disagree. I think the Knicks' needs are a little bit more in the front court than in the back court right now, though a warm body who we could trust to play serious NBA minutes is very, very helpful for the Knicks team. OG Anunoby should be coming back at some point this month. Julius Randle may as well also. Mitchell Robinson, it's sort of up in the air, but it does appear that he will be back this season. So the Knicks' big three injuries, they'll all heal by the time the Knicks make the playoffs. But right now, things have been bad. The Knicks are only 2-8 in their last 10 games. They can't really get any momentum because Jalen Brunson has to play basically the entire game because he's been the only one who's been able to create a shot without Randle there. Dante DiVincenzo has been pretty great. But also his shooting percentages have gone down since he's had to throw up a lot, and I mean a lot of shots. Josh Hart has figured it out. Luckily, that is the more positive side of it. And Bojan Bogdanovic, outside of last game, has been pretty solid with the New York Knicks. Then our centers, the situation's kind of weird. Isaiah Hartenstein is dealing with a lingering Achilles thing. Precious Achiuwa is broken out, but more as a power forward. And then Jericho Sims has been pretty up and down, more down if we're being honest. This Knicks team is injured, and outside of Jalen Brunson and Deuce McBride, there's really no one else to play point guard on the roster who you can say, okay, yeah, he's a point guard. Shake Milton solves that problem. He brings in another guard for the Knicks, who they are going to probably use pretty much instantly. I mean, if you take a look right here, the story on him getting bought out was essentially, as Shams broke the news, that he agreed to a buyout with the Pistons, and multiple postseason contenders are interested in signing Milton once he clears waivers. That's important, and I will talk about why in a minute. It then just kind of goes into Shake's career, sort of. His contract with the Timberwolves, the second year being non-guaranteed, which is why the buyout worked so well. And then how this has not been his best season at all. And the Pistons, it wasn't much better. But look, there's a lot of upside to signing Shake Milton for the New York Knicks. And as I said, one of the bigger reasons why we could be happy about this move is the fact that when you look at it, multiple teams were interested in signing Shake Milton, and the Knicks won that battle. A few years ago, that would never happen. The Knicks really have changed their identity, and I think it's nice to bring that up today because it's been exactly 4 years since Leon Rose took over a roster that was absolutely garbage. It was That team was a nightmare. That's the team that won 17 games and got the right to draft R.J. Barrett from it. Obviously, Leon has turned the Knicks around for the better. He's made them a way more respected basketball team, and that's one of the reasons why they were able to win the lottery of Shake Milton. And is it the greatest win ever? No, but for the Knicks, everything matters when it comes to getting healthy players. The Knicks have been more injury riddled right now than any team in the NBA, with maybe the exception of the Memphis Grizzlies. And it just sucks because we know how good this Knicks team is when they're healthy. I mean, we've seen this team. That January 2024 Knicks team was unbelievable. We were talking about the potential chance of going to the NBA Finals. And now it feels like, oh no, are we going to end up being in the play-in? Things have fallen apart because we've lost Julius Randle, who's such a massive need for this team. We haven't had Mitchell Robinson because of his foot surgery. OG Anunoby, when he came to the Knicks, things changed like that. Him being on the bench because of this injury to his elbow has not been helpful for the team. It's hurt them a lot. And now we're looking at a chance just to have more depth. And that's helpful because Jalen Brunson is going to burn out playing this many minutes. Now you can get a guy like Shake Milton, who, if there's one thing you can always trust Shake to do, it's the fact that he could score the basketball. And again, I know it has not been his best season. I know his numbers are bad. But maybe a fresh change of scenery where he's going to get a lot of opportunities to score the ball and work with the ball in his hands when Brunson's on the bench could be super helpful for the Knicks. Also, he's 6'5". He's 6'5", is also comfortable being a spot-up shooter. He can play three positions on the basketball court. He's more of a guard, like a combo guard, but he can play a small ball three. That's helpful when you're looking at this Knicks team. And something else to bring up is we all know that Alec Burks, since coming back to the Knicks, has had a pretty rough run of it. He's not really been good at all. A lot of people are accusing Burks of being washed up. And now the Knicks can kind of give someone to their lineup. That means Burks will never have to play point guard again. I hate when Alec Burks plays point guard because he is a 2-3 spot-up shooting wing. That is what Alec Burks does. He is not a lead guard. He is not really a playmaker at all. He's a solid shot creator, but not a shot creator as a point guard. He is a wing spot-up who can sort of make something happen off the dribble with the threat from his spot-up shooting. When you make him a point guard, things go badly. Tibbs has done this before, and we saw Burks play poorly. Then we saw him play a lot better once he didn't have to play that role. So I really, really hope that this means that we're going to see less point guard Alec Burks, and hopefully no more point guard Alec Burks. I think that would be super important because as we look, since joining the Knicks once again, Burks has only averaged 8.5 points with 2 rebounds and 1 assist, and his shooting numbers have plummeted. He's shooting 31% from the field while missing around 10 million floaters per game, and also only shooting 32.4% from three. And I think part of the reason why his three-point shooting is so down is because the fact that he has to be a lead guard with the Knicks. Now we don't have to see Alec Burks do that for a single possession for the rest of this season if Tibbs plays his cards right. So hopefully that is exactly what happens. Hopefully Shake can turn his season around with the New York Knicks. He's shown that he can be a very valuable bench piece on a playoff roster before, and I hope he does again. Comment down below what you guys think of this signing. The Knicks still have one more open roster spot also that they can use to sign a player. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully they'll sign more of a forward, whoever that may end up being. We'll see. Leon Rose cooked once again. Happy 4-year anniversary, Leon Rose. I think every single Knicks fan owes you a beer. Have a great day, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me and Darielle. I'll catch you on the next one. Go Knicks.